Thanks for joining us. I'm Sam Shocker. Just over an hour ago, President Trump and Vice President Vance held a heated meeting in the Oval Office with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The meeting was intended to kick off negotiations for the U.S. to help secure Ukraine in the war against Russia, but it quickly devolved into a shouting match where Trump called Zelenskyy disrespectful.
Beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting?
The hostile exchange underscores the tension that's emerged between the U.S. and Ukraine. Since taking office, Trump has called Zelenskyy a dictator and falsely claimed Ukraine started the war. The Ukrainian president also left the White House without signing a critical minerals deal Trump had demanded. President Trump is expected to sign an executive order today to make English the nation's official language. This would be the first time in U.S. history that the country would have an official language. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, more than 350 languages are spoken across the country, but 3/4 of Americans speak only English at home. Meteorologists around the country are warning of the impact of layoffs at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA. Hundreds of weather forecasters and other employees were laid off Thursday as part of President Trump and Elon Musk's effort to shrink the size of the federal government. We reached out to the National Weather Service office in Boulder for more information, including the number of layoffs and the impact there. They replied saying they are not discussing internal personnel and management matters. After recent plane crashes and near misses, the Department of Transportation wants to hire more air traffic controllers to help alleviate the ongoing shortage. The FAA is increasing starting salaries by 30%, and they'll trim their 8-step hiring process down to 5 to expedite the process. The Transportation Department is also starting a review of the hiring and training process to reduce errors and improve safety at airports across the country. And speaking of airports, today is Denver International Airport's 30th birthday. The airport shared this time-lapse video of the growth over the years, starting in 1985. DIA officials say in the last 30 years, the airport has contributed more than $47 billion annually to Colorado's economy and supported more than 244,000 jobs. Looking over downtown now, wow, not a cloud in the sky. Picture perfect sunshine out there. It will continue through the weekend, and although we hate to say it, there will be some big changes next week. Joining me now, Keely Chalmers with our Weather News Impact team. Keely, let's first talk about that warm weather that we get to enjoy this weekend.
Yeah, how about temperatures in the 60s, lots of sunshine, just a little breezy today. Those winds are going to pick up across the far eastern plains. It's going to be dry out there, so of course we'll be keeping our eye out for the potential for some fire danger. Again, out far east across the plains, but here in the metro area, we have got a gorgeous day, lots of sunshine. Again, temperatures warming already. We're at 62 at DIA. Again, a little bit breezy, as you can see the flags out in front of the 9 News station. Northeast, 14 miles per hour. Current temperatures, we are mainly in the upper 50s, 60s across the plains, but 69 degrees, almost 70 right now in Lamar. We're at 63 in Ray, 67 in Greeley, 64 in Fort Collins. Out in Grand Junction in the mid 50s. Mostly sunny for the Denver metro area today. We're going to top out right around 65 degrees for a high. We're looking again 60s for the most part across the plains for high temperatures. Our normal high for this time of the year, 49 degrees, so well above that. We've got nothing but sunshine as we head into the evening. We're going to stay in the 60s all the way until 5 o'clock tonight. So that warm weather, topping a look at our weather headlines for today. Again, 60s through Monday. We're also staying dry through the weekend. It is shaping up to be a great one to get outside. But we do have a weather impact alert to talk about for Tuesday morning, where we are looking at the potential for measurable snow here in the metro area. More on that coming up in your complete forecast in just a bit.
Keely, thank you. Just into the newsroom in the last few minutes, Pope Francis suffered a medical setback in his 2-week-long battle against pneumonia in both lungs. Doctors say he had a bronchial spasm and responded well to treatment. They did say, however, this incident worsened the Pope's respiratory condition, and doctors are now keeping his prognosis guarded. The person accused of vandalizing a Tesla dealership in Loveland now faces federal charges. Our 9 News Investigates team was in court when Lucy Nelson learned of the added federal charge of malicious destruction of property. We also obtained court documents that show police believe Nelson targeted the dealership 3 separate times over the last few weeks with spray paint and fire. Police say they arrested Nelson Monday night with a gasoline container, materials to make wicks, and bottles of Smirnoff Ice. Nelson will remain in jail over the weekend, at least until a bond hearing on Tuesday. We are now waiting for body camera to be released of the February 8th shooting scene at the Highlands Ranch main event. Yesterday, a judge okayed releasing a portion of the raw video that shows a Douglas County deputy shooting 23-year-old Jalen Sabron, who was armed in the arcade's parking lot. But the video will not be of Nevaeh Crowley Sanders, who was accused of firing off as many as 10 shots inside the building. Another woman was hurt by some of the shots that were fired inside one of the arcade's bathrooms. An attorney for the man who was killed says the video will be released to the public 72 hours after the family sees it. District attorneys in Colorado agree that the state needs to change a law that caps the number of kids that can be locked up while awaiting trial for serious crimes. The current cap is 215, but bipartisan legislation would raise that to 254, with room to go up or down in future years based on projected use. 17th Judicial District Attorney Brian Mason says there are kids accused of committing violent crimes who are not in custody because of that limit.
According to the Colorado Department of Human Services, there are 31 juveniles who have been charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, or manslaughter, who are out of custody, who are out in the community. That should scare everybody.
The ACLU of Colorado believes money for more beds could be better spent on keeping kids out of trouble instead.
We don't believe detaining more kids is the right answer. We don't think it fixes the actual problem. It puts a Band-Aid on it for a period of time.
And the bill is set to be discussed at the committee level next Thursday.